Nice to see you all. We've been preparing this seminar for quite a while, and we are very happy to be here at Pohjois-Haga Sports School. And it's, as the headmaster Tuomas said, this is my former school. So I'm proud to be back after more than 10 years, actually. My name is Tomi Lounio. I'm representing LiiKe Sports and Development, which is a Finnish NGO working in the field of sports for development. And we are honored to have a man here, Arnold Bugado, from our Tanzanian partner organization called Sports Development Aid.
Hello, how are you? Moi.
And in Swahili?
Habari yenu?
Nzuri.
Oh, good. Mambo? Very nice.
You're doing well. So, let me begin. I will briefly explain what's been done, or actually, how did the project start? Like, this is a project that we have done together, implemented together in Tanzania, and from there, Arnold will explain a little bit further because he's come from afar and he's a specialist in knowing the context in Tanzania. So, okay, let's go. Should I use this one? Okay. Here we go. So this is Tanzania, East Africa. I asked the students here this morning, where is Tanzania? Everybody knew it's in Africa. Which part of Africa? Somebody said central, somebody said northern, somebody said western, then finally somebody said Eastern Africa. So we kind of managed to put the country on the map, but there it is for you to see. Your home country, isn't it?
Yes, it's my home country.
So, Arnold, do you want to explain the basics of the project?
I think it's best. Yeah. We have this project in Tanzania, particularly in Singida region. Singida is found in the central part of Tanzania, but it's run through SDA, Sports Development Aid, NGO which is in counterpart with LiiKe, which is in Finland. We started this project in Singida mainly was to uplift the standard of performance and education, and you saw that, sports is good thing which is a good tool which can attract students to come to school and also can activate them to perform well. So that's why we started this project. And of course, it's because physical education is not most popular in Tanzania. That's why we saw that, let us try this physical education to use as a tool in order to attract students and also at the end of their subject to perform well in their studies. So we used this. And we selected Singida to be a pilot region for these activities so that physical education can be taught in Tanzania. In all the schools, we have 151 public secondary schools. I mean, these are the government secondary schools. And also there are some private schools, but our project mostly concentrated in the government secondary schools. And this project started in 2012 up to 2014. Previously, we have been working with the primary schools and we did well. We saw, why don't we do also in the secondary school that after they complete their education in primary school, then they go to secondary schools and they find the same things. What I've been doing there is to improve the sports environments, that we train the teachers so that they can teach the students well in sports, and also we improve the environment, particularly the fields and also the sports gears, so that they can have an access to perform well in those sports activities. We know that the students, the kids, they are very much interested in sports. So that's why we use the sports as a tool to attract them to come to school. Whenever they see that at school there is good development for running sports and it is done every day, so they are attracted to come back to school. And also so many things that they are very active, and also when they are very active, it means that also they participate well in the studies. And we have some evidence of teaching physical education that having some positive consequences. That there are some students who had dropped from the school, that they are not continuing with the schools, but after introducing this physical education, most of them come back to school, and this have been evidence have been obtained through the evaluation which was done. We have done 2 evaluations for the presence of SDA in Tanzania for 10 years, and also the evaluation for this project in Singida for 3 years. And the research shown that a good number of students who had dropped from the school, they have come back to school. And also, not only this, but also the academic performance have been lifted. So through doing physical education, the academic performance for the students have been much good, that most of them performed well in the examinations.
Okay. How many of you like physical education? How many of you would prefer to do physical education in schools? Quite a few people. So, but the fact is that in many, especially secondary schools in Tanzania, it's not being taught. So Singida was a pilot project in that sense. The project, I forgot to mention, but it's been funded by mainly by the Ministry for Foreign Affairs of Finland through LiiKe, and we have been working together with SDA. So, and we have actually been partnering with SDA since 2003, so it's been quite a few years. But in order to introduce physical education as a subject, there were some challenges that had to be addressed. So let's hear from the kids, secondary school kids, why they cannot do sports in their lives or in their schools.
Jambo la kwanza ambalo tumejadili hapa, kuamini kwamba michezo sio kitu cha maana katika familia. Yaani familia kama familia inaweza kukuambia kuwa michezo haikusaidii lolote katika familia yako. Jambo lingine, kutoonekana, yaani unaweza kukuambia wewe unajali michezo, hautojali kazi za nyumbani. Jambo lingine, huduma za akili. Sisi wengine wanaweza kukuambia wewe unajali michezo tu, ujisomee, ufanye nini, na maana wanakuwa wanasema unaduma kwa akili. Jambo lingine, wazazi hawakuamini kama kweli unaenda kwenye michezo, unaweza kuonekana unaenda tu na mambo yako mengine. Kama vile ujiingiza katika makundi ya vuguvugu. Jambo lingine, unaweza kupata ulemavu, unaweza kupata unacheza mpira, basi ukivunjika mguu utapelekwa hospitali. Ni changamoto unaweza kupata katika familia.
Pointi ya kwanza, michezo katika jamii haipewi kipaumbele. Kwa mfano kama kijana ameenda kucheza mpira, akapata na ajali, akawa na majeraha. Kwa hiyo hata akirudi nyumbani, kwa wale wana mchezo wenzie au kiongozi wa mchezo hawezi akashiriki au akansaidia kwenda kumpeleka hospitali. Kwa hiyo anamwacha peke yake. Kwa hiyo kisha uguza akipona mwenyewe anakuwa yani hapati tena hamu au akawa anafikiria tena kuhusu michezo. Kwa hiyo anasema mimi niliumia, kaniacha tu nijihudumia mwenyewe, kwa hiyo sitaki tena. Kwa hiyo kwa watu wenye yani wanaocheza michezo wanakuwa wanapungua kutokana na hiyo. Na pili, ukosefu wa vifaa vinakuwa hamna vya michezo. Kwa hiyo wanakuwa wanashindwa yani kushiriki kwenye michezo kwa sababu vifaa kidogo. Kwa hiyo wanakuwa hawapati msaada wa vifaa. Ya tatu, yani umaskini kusema. Umaskini ndio unachangia. Kwa mfano mimi kwetu kule ni hakuna chochote, na nikitoka huko shule ninakuwa nimeenda shambani. Kwa hiyo sipati muda ule wa kucheza na wenzangu michezo na kujua nini kinaendelea katika mchezo. Tukabili shuleni kuhusu michezo. Uwaba vifaa vya mchezo, uwaba viwanja vya mchezo, kutokuwa na viongozi bora wa mchezo, walimu kutosaidiana na wanafunzi kuhusu michezo, muda na kutokuwa na vipindi vya michezo, kutokuwa na walimu wa michezo, ukosefu wa chakula shuleni, wanafunzi kutoshirikiana pamoja kuhusu michezo.
So those were some of the challenges. There were many. These girls, for example, they said that they never get the chance to do sports in their lives for these reasons. Of course, some of the reasons are bigger than others. And I think Maria, in her presentation, really well went through many of them, and some others as well. But in a development project like this, we cannot address all of them. We have to prioritize, we have to focus, and because for this project, the main idea was to work with schools, and with the Ministry of Education and Vocational Training and Teacher Training was the Tanzania Teachers Union. And so maybe Arnold could tell a little bit what you actually did when you started the project.
Yeah, when we started this project, we saw that we cannot perform all ourselves. We needed to involve other stakeholders so that we can work together. We found that Tanzania Teachers Union, they are good counterparts. We can work with them because they are dealing with education. Mainly, Tanzania Teachers Union, it's a union which involves all teachers who are teaching schools, in primary schools, secondary schools, in the colleges. So they have the union. They are dealing with the improvement of education in schools. So we thought that it's better to work together with them because they are directly in the schools, that they can tell us that, oh, through being working in the schools, we have seen this and this and this and this. So your presence, we need to do this and this and this so as to improve the life in the schools and the things related to education. And after we had done with this, then we saw that we need to train the physical education teachers. As I've said before, that we have a problem of few trained physical education teachers who can train physical education in schools. Before our project, the physical education has not been there. There have been just a sport that you can find a school is having a teacher have been appointed just because he liked football or something related to sports, that you'll be a sports teacher, but he or she knows nothing. Then so that they need some training so that they can train physical education. So through our project, we train 316 teachers who can train physical education in the school. As I have said, Singida project was taken as a pilot, and the aim was to see that physical education is taught in every school. So we train these teachers, and also from every school, 2 teachers, 1 male and 1 female. And also the number of schools as we concentrated in this project, they are 151. So we ensure that these schools have good sports involvement. So we purchased some goal posts for football, netball, and volleyball fields, together with LiiKe, funding from from your government. We can say thank you. And also, to ensure that there are suitable equipment for the physical education, the ones which can be used. There can be football, some jerseys, some boots, and related material like that. And also to strengthen the cooperation between local authorities, because they have no good cooperation. As we have seen the clips there, some of the students, they say that we are prevented by our parents or our guardians to participate in sports. So we see that we need to strengthen the cooperation between the local authorities and also together with the parents to see that sports is done well. So we made some effort. We had some seminars and meetings, and also some people, other people who can talk to these people in order to ensure that our programs are done well. That's all.
Yeah, and in sustainable ways as well. So the key issue is to ensure good working conditions for the teachers and make sure that the teachers have whatever they need to be able to teach physical education. And this is actually a photo from physical education teachers training workshop. So, in a project like this can do only that much. There are other stakeholders that must do their share as well in order to get sustainable outcomes. And that is a long list of different institutions and people. But for example, the important stakeholders included local education authorities who had to kind of encourage the head teachers to include physical education in their schools. And that's a process of negotiation. It's not like simple. Arnie knows that it takes some time and effort. Then the head teachers had a really essential role in selecting the teachers from their schools who would be trained by Sports Development Aid and the teachers training, the teachers union, and they also organized the maintenance of sports fields, because once you build a sports field, somebody must take care of the maintenance and renovation in the future as well. The school management committees, their role was to negotiate the necessary permits for the sports field, which was an arduous process in some places as well. Some schools didn't have a space to build a field, but that was solved in most cases. And these physical education teachers, they were the ones who actually organized these lessons, and also many of them set up parental meetings with the local community in order to ensure that also girls and basically all children are allowed to participate. Because as Maria said, safety is a big issue, for example. So, what else happened?
Yeah, what happened here, we see that despite of many challenges, physical education was started subject in almost all schools. I have said here that we trained physical education teachers using our project to ensure that every school is having not less than 2 sports teachers so that they can train the students in physical education. This is what has been done. And also, the school attendance have been increased. I have said that there have been 2 evaluations which have been conducted. One was for 10 years of the presence of Sports Development Aid in Tanzania, together with LiiKe, and also the 3 years of performance of this project in Singida. So through those evaluations, they have proved that before this project, the number of students who have been attending the schools was very low, but now it has been increased through this introduction of physical education in the schools. And also the relations between schools and local communities got better. As I have said before, some of the parents and also other people in the communities didn't know the importance of physical education in the schools. But using this project, the activities and the programs used to run, because sometimes we conducted some events, we invited these parents and other authorities to participate there. They saw that, oh, this is very important. So the relations between the schools and the local communities was increased. And also, new sports clubs for young people were set up. We have seen that you cannot have better sports people if they are not trained as they are youngsters. So we need, when they are very young, to train them. Now, after having done these activities in Singida and also in Tanzania, particularly in some of the regions which we used to perform our activities, this is sports development aid, so that, there is an importance of starting these new sports clubs for the young people. We see there have been some teams who used to come in Finland to compete, FC Vito. I think you have heard about FC Vito. Yes, that is a club. Those are clubs for the young talent. They used to come here to compete. They have been formed through these projects which have been conducted.
Yeah. There's actually more photos. I didn't include that many photos, or we didn't include that many photos, because there's a photo exhibition in the lobby from Tanzania. The photos were taken by Timo Villanen. And then on the other side, on the green table, what's this? Wall, I would say. Those are photos from Ghana, from Plan International's projects, which also involving girls who play football for better outcomes in their lives. So, but some challenges remain, even though there's been many good things going on, but generally the working context is difficult. And in some cases, we've heard that girls have not been able to participate meaningfully, which means that they are being allowed to the field, but the teacher may focus on boys. Boys always come first, it seems.
Yes.
That needs to be stressed further in the future, but that there are no simple solutions, so it takes a little bit of time. But this is, I don't know, Arnold, how big a problem is this actually in the project?
Yeah, anyway, it's because they were not used to include the girls to participate in sports like the boys, so that has been a problem. But slowly we have been talking to them about the inclusion of the girls participating in these sports activities. They have been changing, although the changes is not so much hard that you can find out of 20 maybe people who are participating in sports, you can find 7 girls and 13 boys. So the number of boys is much higher, but it is reducing. Before our project here, the girls were not participating in football. They thought that football is for boys only. But nowadays, girls are participating in football. They are playing well. It's quite different from the time that most of the people were participating were the boys. Yeah.
Also, the teachers' capacity varies widely, even though they've been through the same type of training, all of them, but they obviously have different backgrounds in sports and different levels of motivation, so they need to be trained and retrained, and needs to be stressed. And one problem is that, as Arnold said, there's been 2 teachers for each school, 1 male, 1 female, trained. But if some of these teachers has been moved away, in some cases they haven't been replaced. Isn't it?
Yeah, the problem that sometimes you can find that the trained teachers, although we have been emphasizing that whenever they are trained, they needed to train also other sports teachers, so that whenever they are transferred to other schools, then they can leave the school with other sports teachers. But sometimes we can find that they do not train other sports teachers. So whenever they are transferred, because in our country, a teacher can be transferred from one school to another school, even out of the region. We have 25 regions, Tanzania. You can be transferred from one region to another region. So if it happens so, and they have not been training for other sports teachers, then it happens a problem that they'll no longer go teaching this physical education because of this absence of the teachers. You can find all of them, 2 are trained, but all of them are transferred to other schools, and they have no any training which we are conducting to other teachers. So there comes a problem again.
Okay. And there's not enough physical education books for the teachers in the long run. They've been receiving this equipment, but the sustainable solutions must be found in each school. The school must take care of the equipment, otherwise it's going to be very difficult to play without balls, for example. And the parental attitude, so that the parents are actually willing to support their daughters participating, especially, that takes time. There's no way around it, really. But the big picture is that while challenges remain, there's been a lot of positive progress, and thousands of children are getting the chance to do sports, and many of them for the first time in their lives, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And we see that through this project, this pilot project, even though authorities in Tanzania, and we hope through this event, for example, in other countries, in other places as well, people see that introducing physical education actually is a great way to make the school environment more attractive and fun.
Yeah.
At the moment, just one last statistic, as far as I know, in 11 countries out of 55 in Africa, physical education is being taught as a subject. So Tanzania is in a minority of countries in that sense.
Yeah.
So hongera-san.
Asante sana.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miss.
Thanks a lot for all of you for your attention.
Thank you.